Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on our medical webinar for UK North. We've invited offer holder students and we've invited agents as well to talk to William Donga, who's our programme lead for medicine at UK North, and also Rob Whitton, who's our centre director there at UK North. So any questions you've got, you can either raise your hand, we can let you speak on the microphone, or you can put them into the chat and we'll send you the recording and all of the slides post-webinar.
Hello, everybody. I'm Rob, and as you just heard, I'm the Centre Director. I've been Centre Director here at UK North for 2.5 years. So William knows the university and the city a little better than me. William, how long have you been with On Campus?
I've been on campus since 2011, so I think that's 15 years now.
Wow, 15 years, yes. So William has huge experience of running the medical program, and it's an absolute pleasure to be here and talk to you about the wonderful university that we work, well, wonderful universities that we work in partnership, but our main partner, the University of Lancashire, which is based in the city of Preston. Preston is a small city in the northwest of England. If anybody can spot a difference with English accents, you might spot that my accent is from the northeast rather than the northwest. As I say, I've been working here for 2.5 years now, well, my wife and I have fell in love with Preston. My wife says that if we were a little younger, we'd be happy to raise a family here in Preston. Lovely city. It's a smaller, quieter city, but it's close to Manchester. Short train ride away from Manchester. Short train ride away from Liverpool. And obviously, those are the big famous cities of the Northwest. But I love Preston. You can walk everywhere here. Where we are now on the university campus is just a short walk. Even an old man like me, it takes 10 minutes for me to walk to the station or to the high street. Preston's got some great features in the town centre. There's a lovely new museum. They've spent millions of pounds restoring and renovating the Victorian building, magnificent building. And the high street, an array of shops, lots of restaurants, lots of multicultural places to eat. In short walking distance as well. You've got a new cinema, a brand new cinema complex that's been built in the city centre. If you're interested in sport, we discovered that. Did you watch the Winter Olympics? In the Winter Olympics, one of the big sports is ice curling. There is an ice curling rink just to the north of the city. So if you fancy, something different sport-wise, ice curling, fantastic sport. But lots of facilities, leisure centres, parks. I bring a bicycle with me here to work, and after work I'll be cycling around Preston. Great place to cycle. So, student population. It's a big university and it plays a big role in the city. Staff and student population of over 38,000. And when you think the population of the city is 160,000, the university is a hugely important part of the city. It provides employment locally, and it means that facilities for students have grown up in the city alongside the university. So it's a student city. It's an old university. It's a new name. Used to be called UCLan, University of Central Lancashire. New for this year, it is just the University of Lancashire. Because that better explains its geographic spread with different campuses across Lancashire. It's a very international university, lots of international students from all over the world. And this university can trace its roots all the way back to 1828. So, on campus UK North, we've had a partnership for a very long time. William has worked on this partnership with the University of Lancashire since 2011, and our students get an offer from the University of Lancashire for medicine that you're interested in. We do have other partners as well. Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, University of Nicosia, University of St George's Grenada, which also has a campus in Newcastle, in the northeast of the country. But our main partner, University of Lancashire, we've successfully been sending a lot of medical students to the University of Lancashire, and we have a good track record. I'm sure William, when he speaks, will talk a little more about our track record, but our students, they're successful. If you work hard, you will be successful. But you do need to work hard. I must say that you do need to work hard. So our students, they get an offer. You don't need to apply through UCAS. They get an offer, but it's a conditional offer. You need to get the grades. You need to pass the interview. But William's team will work with you and tutor you. And if you work with the team, you'll practice the interviews and you'll be ready. Preston, wow, one of the best value places to live in the country. Voted #1 a couple of years ago for affordability. Everything is just that little bit cheaper. And if you compare it to London, it's a lot cheaper. What would get you very, very basic accommodation in London will get you, for the same money, luxury accommodation in Preston. But eating out is cheaper, travel is cheaper. It's just a much more affordable place to study in the northwest of the country, in the north of the country. So more budget-friendly social life, cheaper entertainment, great value for money, and great employability prospects. More than 95% of this university's graduates find employment or may continue on to a master's degree within 15 months of graduating. So I've got a lot of slides here, and I'm not going to go through them all. But this is a very strong university for medicine, very strong university for other health and medical related programs, such as veterinary. We get a number of students wanting to progress onto veterinary therapy as well. Veterinary medicine. So you can see there lots of different universities that our students have gone to, not just the University of Lancashire. Some of the best universities in the country, and that one there that you can see there, St George's Grenada, the first year of that can be taken in Newcastle in the northeast of England. So in short, it's a proper student city, lots to do. Oh, I forgot. You may notice if you look at Preston on a map, it's not on the coast, it's inland, but it has a marina, which was a surprise to me when I first came here. Lovely area, accommodation around the marina, not far from the city centre, and people say, and it has been voted the best city to live and work in the northwest. And you can see there the train times to different places. Edinburgh, the wonderful Scottish city of Edinburgh. When you come to England, you have to take a trip to Scotland and go to Edinburgh. Fantastic city. My daughters love Edinburgh. Manchester, just an hour away, and that is the biggest, closest city. And obviously Manchester, a very world famous city, as is Liverpool. Direct train to London, direct train to Leeds. Obviously Leeds, another fantastic northern city. So Why study a foundation? Well, in short, I think that studying a foundation gives you the platform to thrive once you get onto the rest of your study. Not survive, thrive once you get onto the rest of your study. You develop critical thinking and research skills, how to analyze. You get used to the UK education system, which is different to other education systems elsewhere in the world. And you hit the deck running, as we say in this country, and your chances of success are so much greater by doing a foundation first. I'm not going to cover all the slides that we've got, but obviously our foundation program is designed specifically for international students, fills any gaps in knowledge that you've got between high school and university. Obviously, on our medical program, you will study subjects in depth. You'll do chemistry and biology and maths at a higher level, in depth, which prepares you for your medical degree. And also English language alongside your academic subjects. So you get used to, as I say, you get used to the UK education system. You get used to a university style of teaching, and you get to, specialize in your chosen field. For you guys, that's medicine. Time to adjust as well. It's quite a big thing to come to another country and study. But whilst you're on foundation, you'll get support to integrate yourself into life in the UK, integrate yourself into life in Preston, and then you're as I say, you're ready then to thrive, not survive, because you're used to the environment and you feel at home in the environment. The conditional place I've already mentioned. You need to get the grades, you need to pass the interview, but William's team will support you to do that. So I'm going to pass on to William now, and he can explain a little bit more about how our medical program works.
Hi, everyone. I'm William, and I'm the program lead for our Medicine Undergraduate Foundation program. So on the screen, you should be able to see at the bottom, Medicine Undergraduate Foundation program, and obviously you will be progressing to a medical degree. Now, like we said before, like what Rob said before, we do have different partner universities. So your medical degrees might slightly vary, but at the end of your program, you will still gonna graduate as a doctor. Because they vary slightly, the entry requirements will also vary slightly. You can see also on the screen that they've got different entry criteria. So for example, with the University of Lancashire, you need 70% in each subject, that is medical chemistry, biology, and pure maths and mathematics. This is for the 5-year program. You also need 7.0 IELTS equivalents in each component. We do have our own exam. We call it OCTO. Basically, it just stands for On-Campus Test of English. So we do have the equivalent scales. So for example, if you get 70% in an OCTO exam, it's about the same as 7.0 IELTS equivalents. To progress to other universities, you need slightly different progression criteria. Our team here work very hard to explain all the progression requirements that you will need to progress to any medical school. They vary slightly, so the difference is not huge, especially for the 5-year program. Should you not meet the progression requirements for the 5-year program, you might still be eligible for the 6-year program. And they also vary the progression requirements. One thing that you need to know, you are guaranteed of a progression in healthcare course once you've joined us, provided you pass the program. By passing the program, I mean you need to achieve at least 40% in each component. Obviously, if you do not meet the progression requirements for medicine, then there will be alternatives. So we always advise to students, once they get here, they must have a plan B, even for your progression medical school. So you might want to stay here in Preston, which is a very nice city. That's absolutely fine. But should things not go well, have another partner medical school. You know, for example, you could have RCSI, which is Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, as your plan B. So on the screen here, you've got some dates and some fees. We do our induction towards the end of September. We actually have a date. Rob, do you know the date?
Yes, I think the 21st of September is the right date for induction to start, and then teaching will start 1 week after induction.
Yeah. With regards to your fees, they are on the screen, and they will be also obviously on your offer letters as well. One thing that we encourage you to do is to make sure that you do attend the induction week. It's very, very important. Other than just learning about and meeting staff as well that are going to teach you and getting familiar with the surroundings and everything, you also do need to get familiar with where you're going to be staying. So it's very, very important. There is a correlation between the students that get here early and their results. If you can get here early, it just means that by the time your lesson starts, you're a bit more settled. So you've got some testimonials on the screen from our alumni, and one of them is Reddy. So I'm just going to read that out, read that loud to you, and I'm not going to read them all out, but I'm going to read out this one. So I think ONCAMPUS has given me a huge advantage, and I've settled in really quickly. We can access the university facilities, such as the library and sports facilities, and we have hands-on classes in biology labs too. The teachers are really friendly and happy to help with any questions. The course materials are so easy to follow, and my classmates are motivated, which has had a positive influence on me. She was actually one of our student reps. I'm just going to pause. You can read on the screen, and as you know, this presentation is going to be shared with you. We've already spoken about our partner universities. As you can see, the main four for the to progress on to medicine, University of Lancashire, University of Nicosia, RCSI, which stands for Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, and we have got St. George's University, who are based in Grenada. So a little bit more about RCSI. I'm sure most of you would have done some research. So basically, they're based in Dublin, in Ireland. And it is another nice city as well. Some of our students will decide to progress on to RCSI as their first option. And that's good. And you can see at the bottom there, apart from offering the progression to study medicine, you could also do pharmacy, MPharm, which is 5 years. That means you qualify with your master's in pharmacy. You could also do physiotherapy, and you could also do advanced therapeutic technologies. Why is this important? This is important because sometimes you can fall a little bit short of your progression requirements. So you know you need plan B, like we said before. But also, we know that you are very keen to study medicine. But after spending 8-7 months here, you might decide that you might want a different route, which is okay. The majority of our students still progress onto medicine. So we give you all the options in terms of progression. So some important information about RCSI. So it was, or it is still the first in the world for good health and well-being. This was voted by the Times Higher Education, on the Times Higher Education Impact Rankings for 2025. 200 million has been invested in a world-class experiential learning facilities since 2017. And it is one of the most international medical schools. 70% of its undergraduate students in medicine, they've got the seats reserved. And also some, this is for non-EU students. As you know, Ireland is still part of mainland Europe. So you do have 7% of the seats reserved for non-EU students. It was established in 1784 and is Ireland's largest medical school. So there is plenty of experience there in terms of teaching medicine. St. George's, like we said before, they are based in Grenada, which is very, very lovely. This is in the Caribbean, as you can see from the picture probably. And we did say that even though they're based in Grenada, in the Caribbean islands, you can still do your first year in the UK. And there are plans that you can also do another year in the UK, but you need to do your third year over there in the Caribbean. One of the most attractive things about St. George's is you can do your clinical skills in the UK, in Grenada, in Canada, and I'm sure in the US as well. So you've got the progression requirement, some more information there about the MD course at St. George's. So they've got lots of experience. In fact, it is the #1 medical doctors supplier in the US. University of Nicosia, it is quite popular for being in Europe, but yet affordable. So it is another very interesting progression option for you. And should you join us, obviously you are part of us, you're gonna have someone to talk to you from University of Nicosia, probably during the induction week. So you've got a bit more information there about the University of Nicosia. And like I said, it is still part, just like RCSI, it is in mainland Europe. So you will get all the other benefits of having a visa to study there. You can visit as many countries in Europe as you wish. So these are all your options to progress and study a medical degree. So RCSI, very high ranking, a very prestigious university. University of Lancashire, whilst it doesn't have a long tradition, but it does have very modern facilities, and you start your clinical experience as early as from year 1. With regards to St. George's University, like we said before, you've got route to practice not only in the USA, but in Canada, in the UK, as well as in Grenada. University of Nicosia, quite low costs and European study. Obviously, becoming a doctor doesn't come cheap. There is a financial sacrifice to be made, but the rewards are amazing. Just to have that privilege of supporting someone in life and making a change in terms of how they feel, in terms of their hopes, in terms of everything else with their families, etc. It is a sacrifice worth it. I'm just sharing now the accommodation at the University of Lancashire. As a student of On Campus, we do have a contract with one of the accommodation providers. So most of our students do live in Foundry Hall. However, you can actually live in other halls of the universities. So on your screen there, you can see Canterbury, and the accommodation fees is quite affordable, as well as other living costs. So like I said, you can live at Foundry Court. We do have a contract with them. It just means that we can also look after you a bit better because we have a contract with them. So we have already mentioned about why Preston, why UK North. Obviously, the cost of living is very, very cheap. We have been running this program, Medicine Undergraduate Foundation Program, since 2014. The university actually started running the course in 2015. So we started a year before they opened the doors. So we've got lots of experience in running the foundation program in medicine. And as Rob said, Preston is one of the most affordable cities in the UK. The environment could not be more welcoming. Just going to talk a little bit about the timetable. So you're going to be studying for roughly between 22 to 26 hours a week. It just depends whether you're going to be doing English or not. If you do join us, having met your progression requirements for English, then you might not be studying English. You don't have to. And like I said before, the progression requirements to join the medical school is 7.0 in each IELTS equivalence in each component. So we do offer some tutorials as well, just to make sure, because we believe that we want you to do very well academically, but we appreciate that we don't live in a bubble. So we want to make sure that everything else is also okay with you, because we know that for most of you, this is going to be the first time that you're going to be living in the UK. So we've got very clear expectations for medicine. Progression is 70% for the 5-year program. So pretty much everything that is on your screen at the moment, we have mentioned it. We do other stuff that are quite interesting as well once you've joined us. So we do stuff for raising money for charity. So for example, around Christmas time, we do wear some Christmas jumpers. And today we actually have, tomorrow we've got a gala, a graduation gala for our students. So we do lots of activities as well as what you can see on the screen.
Thanks so much, both to Rob and William. We've got lots of questions in the chat, so I'm just going to move on to those questions, if that's okay. So we have, once a student successfully finishes the foundation on campus in the UK, who will assist the student with the visa process for RCSI to the medicine programme?
You'll get support from the partner university that you were intending to join. You'll get support from the office team here at On Campus, and of course you'll get support from your agent.
And what determines whether you are eligible to progress into a 5 versus 6 year medical programme? Is it based on academic excellence in the foundation year?
Well, yes, it is. You need to get 70% in the academic modules on the medical foundation, but generally progression to the 6 year is from our life science program, not the medical program. Generally, progression to the 5 year is from the MUFP, and progression to the 6 year is from the UFP. If the university interview feels you're not quite ready for the 5 year, in exceptional circumstances, they may offer the 6-year, but that doesn't happen very often.
Are the university progressions chosen when getting the UFP offer, during the UFP, or after completing the UFP?
Could you repeat that question again, Laura?
Yeah, sure. Are the university progressions chosen when they're getting the UFP offer, during the undergraduate foundation programme, or after completing the undergraduate foundation programme?
Generally, you need to make any changes before the end of the programme. Generally speaking, our students have decided before they come to us, but if you decide on a different route whilst you're with us, it is still possible to change.
How much is the deposit to secure the offer and get the CAS?
Sorry, I'd need to check on the deposit. Off the top of my head, I can't remember how much the deposit is.
Will there be an interview as part of the admission for the UFP for medicine?
Will there be an interview? Was that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. For all of our medical partners, an interview is required, and for all of the backstop medical related or health related programs, they do require an interview.
We also had a question about applying to RCSI, but via Ireland, and I think they're talking about what used to be called the Castell program. So it's Jafar, so that's for sponsored students. It's not for self-funded students. So if you have sponsored students, they can go via our Castell program in Ireland, and then progress to medicine at RCSI, but generally, if you're just doing the UFP, which is the International Foundation Programme in Ireland, medical routes, you can only go to SGU or to Pleven. Then can an underage student, 16 or 17, be permitted to the Medical Foundation Programme?
At 16, no. At 17, yes.
What UCAT score do I need to achieve to be guaranteed a place in the University of Granada?
It's not based on a UCAS score. It's based on your grades whilst you're with us.
Is there anyone else who has any other questions? I don't know if our student has managed to log in. So no UCAT. Mohammed says so. No UCAT. UCAT is not required for SGU. So,
UCAT is not needed for our partners. We have a partnership progression agreement based on our program. So what counts is what you do with us, not UCAS, not UCAT.
Does anyone have any more questions? If you want to speak in the microphone as well, if you want to raise your hand, I can turn your microphone on if that's better. No other questions? Oh, yeah. May I have emails or WhatsApp to ask later on? Could you tell me, Jafar, where you're based and who your regional manager is, and then I can pass on their email and details so you can ask them questions about the course? In Saudi, okay. Yeah, will do. Do your partners offer scholarships?
Not as such. There are occasionally discounts, but not scholarships.
Any more questions?
Although our students do get a discount at the University of Lancashire.
Don't think we've got. Oh, you can progress to Plevin, but only from Ireland, not from the UK. Okay, I think we'll probably leave it there then, Rob. If we don't have, as Harmon hasn't been able to.
Yeah, I think William was just going to look for Harmon actually.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. We had one of our.
Hello, Harmon. Please have a seat.
Hi, Harmon. I just wondered if you could chat to our agents and just tell them a bit about your experience on campus and what you're studying and what you hope to do. And then they can ask any questions.
Yeah, first of all, good morning, everyone. My name is Rawan Jabir, and I'm from Bahrain. I came here this year to study Medicine Foundation Program at ONCAMPUS North, and I'm hoping to become a doctor and study medicine, hopefully. Yeah, and first of all, like just
Speak up a little.
Okay, just to tell you about the on-campus program. It's a foundation program that makes sure that you have the right certificates for next year when you want to go into like the actual major in university. Which the studies here, first of all, I study biology, chemistry, and maths. It's not that hard, but it's also not easy. You need to like get 70%, which is 70% here means an A, which is very different from back home for most of the people that are coming here for sure. But 70 is still hard to achieve. It's not that easy. Most people do really well. Usually the average is around an A, so don't really be scared. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Is there any questions that I don't mind answering?
Could you tell a bit about the MMI preparation, what you did for the MMI interview preparation?
Yeah, first of all, you're already gonna have a class. The university gives you a class or like every single week where they prepare you for the MMIs. They're gonna teach you what's gonna come in the interview, how to prepare for it, what type of questions are gonna come, whether it's situational or knowledge-based questions. And yeah, and you're gonna have a lot of preparation before the actual MMI, like for around the semester. Anything else?
Could you tell us a bit more about how you found settling in Preston and making friends and what you like to do outside of study time?
Yeah, to be honest, Preston is such a good place to be. It's not that different from back home, although I came from the Middle East where it's a bit more, I would say, luxurious than the UK, where there is much more I would say, yeah, there are a lot of malls, a lot of activities, but it's the same here. It's not that much of a difference, especially in Preston. It's there's a lot of malls, there's a lot of restaurants that are well known. It's such a good place to be. There's not much that's different, I would say. So it's very easy to settle in. And with friends, there's a lot of activities to do.
Did you find, going back to the interviews, did you find the interviews easy or hard, and what kind of questions did they get asked in the interviews? Because I think the agents get asked that a lot about the student. The students ask them a lot of that. What the type of questions?
I'll talk about like, my friends because I haven't really done the MMI because I'm going to a different university. Another thing about on-campus North, they're affiliated with multiple universities. So it's not only University of Lancashire. I'm applying to RCSI where their interviews are a bit more different. It's not MMI. But when I'm going to talk about my other friends who did the MMI, they found it to be very easy because of the preparation they've done. They said situational questions will come. There's a bit of math, and but they all found it pretty easy. Yeah.
And how was your interview for RCSI? Have you had that yet?
Not yet. I think it's coming soon, but yeah.
And would you say there are many international students? How's your experience with the professors and teachers?
Yeah, it's such an international students-based program. A lot of international students. People are all from all over the world. Yeah, and I feel like it's just a really good opportunity to talk to a lot of people from different parts of the world, talk about like their experiences, their cultures, their backgrounds. It's such a nice place to be, yeah. And even the teachers, they all come from different places, speak different languages. It's such a nice place to be.
Thank you.
Anything?
And what are you hoping to do when you graduate? from RCSI? If you got to RCSI, what would you want to do? Or you've just put mute on you.
Was on the chat. I hope to become, first of all, a doctor. There's a lot of steps to become that. First of all, I'm gonna have to do an internship here. I'm gonna have to do a residency, and I haven't really decided what to specialize in yet. But that will come one day. Yeah.
Right. Does anyone have any other questions? I don't think so. Thank you so much for joining us and taking time out of your class.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And we'll probably end it there then, Rob.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
We look forward to seeing you in Preston.
Thank you, everyone. We really look forward to see you in September. We